Alright, welcome back. Today we are actually not working on the Supra. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing you guys how to replace the rear struts on a Chrysler Town & Country. We have the LX side, so it's the all-wheel drive. Shouldn't make a difference, but we're just going to go ahead and get this done. So here are all the tools that you're going to need in order to replace your rear struts. So first off, you're going to need your new strut. In addition with that, we're just going to be using common hand tools here, nothing special. So we need a Torx wrench, we need extensions. These are actually optional, but they'll make the job a lot easier. I have a 3/4 bit, this is to get the lug nuts off. An 18mm, that's to get the top or the bolts on the strut off. There's 2 of them. It's a regular ratchet. This is just to get all of them loose. A hammer to help get some of the bolts on the strut loose. A jack. I'm using bricks. Don't do that. If you have a rubber thing you can use. This I don't, but I'm just using this to get it up on the jack stand. Do not go under the car while it's up on a jack, and even less if it's up on bricks. I'm just doing that just to get the car up. So that to get the car up, and then a jack stand for the car, and then once you do this side, we'll flip to the other side and do that. So this is all you need, just common hand tools to get this job done. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to jack up one side of the car. I'm just going to do one side at a time, so not lift up the whole back. But go ahead and jack up one side of the car, get an axle stand underneath it. If you don't have an axle stand, find something else to stick, like stacks of wood or something, or a tire lift or something or something or something. Just find something to stick underneath, so that way you are not supported by just the jack, because that's what you call dangerous. Anyway, let's go ahead and jack it up. Just a reminder that when you're jacking up your car, make sure that you don't jack it up by the suspension or on the gas tank or anything underneath. So when looking under this car, we see largely that under here we have the suspension, we have the leaf spring, and then the gas tank running all along here. And underneath it doesn't really look like there's many jack points, but looking right here, they say hoist, or excuse me, they say hoist, arrow down, and lift. Which, guess what? That means lift there. So we're gonna go ahead and jack up at this point and get it up on stands. Alright, wheels out of the way now, set it off to the side. I put my foot bolts right behind me here, so they're right by the wheel so they don't get lost. For taking them off, I used a 3/4 socket, and then to take them off initially, to break them, I used the back end of my jack. Took this off and used it as a torque. If you don't have that, use an old pipe or something to help torque to get those off, because they may be stuck on that first little bit. Anyway, looking at the strut now, so here's the top bolt, and down here we have the bottom bolt right here. So it's all 2 bolts is all you're gonna need to do this. So this is a very easy install. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna tackle this top bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. Alright, we got the old strut out, and the new one we have right next to it, which is these Gabriel Ultra struts that we got from, I believe, AutoZone. First off, a couple things you're going to notice is, one, this is a bit shorter, just barely in length. So if I line this top one up, you could see that it's about 1 inch shorter, and then this is also thinner. So don't let this put you off. The thing that you need to notice is just look at the ends, see if the ends are the same. If they both have a hole that it goes through, then you're good to go. So look at that, and then that way you'll know you're all right. As for the length, these shocks do compress. So the fact that this is shorter than this other one is just a testament to the fact that this is blown out and needs to be replaced. So we're gonna go ahead, and then in order to compress it, you just press it together, kind of maybe twist it a bit. I'd recommend putting in the top bolt first, because it's a bit harder to get to, and then kind of you can press up to get to the bottom to get that one in. So in order to put them in, we're gonna do the reverse process of how we took them out. So all it is simply just putting the screw in to the strut here, and then doing the same on the bottom, the bottom with B, bottom B. All right, let's just go ahead and get these new struts in. All right, so that's on, but this isn't the end of putting this on. So there's one last thing to do, and that is to torque the struts down. Now before I do this, I totally forgot to mention that when you put the strut in, make sure you put it in the right way. So make sure you have the part on the bottom is the part that slides into the top. So as you can see, this was like this, it mirrors it as before. And if you take it out and you totally forget, just go take a peek at the other side really quickly. And then one other thing I forgot to mention before was the size that we're using to get these out. I'll put an annotation in beforehand, but if you guys didn't catch the annotation, use the 18mm on the top and bottom to get them out. So you can kind of get away with the top one using a 19mm, but I wouldn't recommend it because you really risk stripping it, and the bottom, you just need that 100%. So last thing we're gonna do is torque it down, which what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a torque wrench, bring it in there, and I'm gonna go quickly look up the torque settings, and then I'll get right back. All right, so the correct specifications are we're gonna bolt this or tighten this down to 65 foot-pounds of torque. I have a nice torque wrench here, so let's go ahead and tighten it down as much as we can with the socket, and then finish it off with the torque wrench and make sure it's 65 foot-pounds of torque. So now the strut job is done, so that's really all it is. It's just 2 bolts, or 7 if you count this side, and then double it if you're flipping the side. Remember, this is just the rear shocks though. Front shocks don't need to be replaced, so I won't be making a video on that, sorry, but this is just how you do the rear shocks. One last note or 2 notes. One, when you're using the torque wrench, you don't want to get carried away with it. I know it seems easy, like, oh, if I could torque it to 65, I'm gonna torque it to 100 or 110 and it'll be extra tight on there. But that's not what you want, because they set this for a reason. One is that's the torque needed to keep the strut on safely, and also if you torque more, you have to remember that as you twist, there comes a point where the screw is no longer screwing in, but this bolt itself is just twisting, and if you torque it too much, you actually weaken the bolt and can risk snapping your bolt. So you want to go with what the factory says to torque it down to, and yeah, just leave it there. So that's it, 65 foot-pounds of torque right there. Let's get the wheel on. One thing when you put the wheel on, do not just put the bolts on in a circle. Yes, it may work and it may hold up, but you risk not putting it on evenly. So when you do it, put it on a star pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or any sort of pattern, as long as you're doing the opposite side. So let's go ahead and do that and torque those down to 110 foot-pounds of torque. And now you're done. So all that you want to do left is just take a quick lap around your block or something, give it a quick drive, make sure that it's all set to go, and then if you're driving like normal, then you're all good to go. Anyway, I'm gonna set you guys down and do a time lapse of the other side. Just set it down, you can watch me just zip through it all quickly, so you kind of get an idea of how long it may take you. I'm just gonna go ahead and set you guys down. If you want to be done, it was good watching for you, but let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and zip over and do the other side now. Alright, we have both of the struts replaced now, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this for a quick drive around the block, just see how it handles, make sure that everything is good, and then that's it. So I will see you guys in just 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Alright, we're back from the drive, everything held up well, and so that's it. So, sorry this wasn't really a Supra video if you guys are just here for the struts. I normally do videos on my Supra right there. If that's not your style, well then don't watch those videos. But if it is, then hey, check out the stuff below. I'm going through the process of swapping my engine right now, and so giving that a good shot. If you're wondering about the video at the beginning with the Mazda RX-8 and the opportunity to win that, that's if you are a THROTL VIP. THROTL is a company that gives you a lot of discounts. There are parts stores that buy performance parts on there. They have it for just about any car, including you can buy parts for this car too. It's not just a performance part store, they do a lot. And they give you a lot of discounts. It's a 10% off discount the whole store if you have the THROTL VIP. In addition to that, you're also able to post onto their site parts that you're trying to sell. So if you have a tough time selling them on Craigslist, go ahead and check out THROTL, see about putting them on there. You can pay to get a spot on there, and they get advertised to more people. A lot more people will see them than if you just throw them up on Craigslist. But if you do, make sure to use the code PhilSuper, because doing that helps supports me, which is awesome. And if you do want to win the car though, there's also a link down below. It's throtl.com/i/PhilSuper. That's how you sign up to win that. That is really about it. Yeah, go ahead and give THROTL a check. Also, you can give discounts on even stuff like pizza and AutoZone, I believe, or some auto part stores. It's more than just a website with cars. They give you a lot of discounts all over. So yeah, if you want 10% off your pizza, go ahead and give that link a look below. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Even if you're don't want to do it, just give it a look, see what it is, maybe consider it. Also consider giving a peek to the other videos. Maybe you might like them. Anyway, that's it for me. Go ahead and just like, unsubscribe, leave your hate in the comments, guys. Bye.